Hey guys, Rockin Robbie here. Uh, the stream's about to start. So get your drinks and snacks out. It's Sunday, so time to watch the stream.
Finally, Rockin Robbie has come back to Sunday night. Rockin Robbie Live. What is up, everybody? Station Pop Pop Boom. Welcome to the very first Rockin Robbie Live of the year. The year of PCPX. And if you're not down with PCPX, I got two words for you. Suck it! How is everybody doing? It's been a long time. We haven't done a Rockin Robbie Live in over a month. Right? And it would have been 2 months with the schedule and the way everything worked out. But I was like, you know what? I don't care that the AFC Championship is going on right now. We're going to go live. We're going to have a good time tonight right before we get into other business. So what is up, everybody? It's been a while, even though, of course, we've been doing the normal content here on Pop Culture Philosophers, Rockin Robbie Live. The show where we gather on Sunday nights, talk about comics, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. It's finally back. It's finally here for now. So what's up, everybody? Welcome in. Once you get into the show, once you get into the chat, let us know that you're here. Throw out a thumbs up, of course. Throw out a station, a pop, pop, boom. Say what's up. We're going to have a great time tonight. It's been a while since I've done this, so we're kicking it in. We're kicking live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Anyway, so where are we at? All right. This is the show where we get to talk. Me and you. It's just us, right? You know, and I feel like we'll get into this in a second, but first and foremost, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com. You can follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you want to follow me on X, which I'm rarely on, you can do so at The Rockin Robbie. And you can support the channel at patreon.com/PCP, like these fine PCP patrons listed right there, as well as with Super Chat function. And of course, Super Chats are always welcome and do result in a little bit of a musical number. So anyway, it's been a while. We are happy to be back. So I've done a lot of soul searching over the last time that we chatted here on Rockin Robbie Live. And one of the things that I realized that made Rockin Robbie Live so much fun and so cool was the fact that this is the show where, like, I get to look at the comments, I get to answer each question. I get to answer each comment. And eventually, I feel like the show kind of became a little bit bloated with like bits, and we're trying to do this, we're trying to do that. So we're doing it streamlined, man. This is what we're doing. Like, it's me, it's you here on Sunday nights to chat. Now, we are making this, let's go ahead and call this the soft opening of Rockin Robbie Live 2025, Rockin Robbie Live for PCPX. Because we will probably be off for the next 2 weeks, because next week I think I got something planned with the paranormal group. Maybe, maybe not. If that falls through, I will go live if I can. But the week after that, I'll be at MegaCon. So if you're going to be in Orlando for MegaCon, station, try to find me. I ain't got a ticket. They denied my media badge, but we got a hotel room. We got a car to get down there with. We're going, and we're just going to see what happens. We're just going to make it work, because that's what we do in PCP world. Anyway, welcome in, everybody. Once you get in, let us know that you're here. This show is driven, fueled, if you will, by your questions, your thoughts, your comments, and your concerns. So get them in right now, and I'll just go ahead and kick us off with this. Congratulations to the damn Eagles. There you go. Cowboys got a new coach. Doesn't matter. Cowboys suck. I'm over it. So there you go. All right. We got a busy week here at PCP. Actually, we have a busy night and we have a busy Friday. So let's get into it. Tonight, after we wrap up with Rockin Robbie Live at 9:30 p.m. Central Time, join me over at Dylan's Horror Show as we talk about horror of Dracula. That's right. That's the Hammer horror Dracula movie starring Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central Time on PCP Movie Night, we're talking about John Carpenter's Starman, starring Jeff Bridges. That's going to be cool. And then we got like a quadruple feature on Friday. Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time on the channel, we're having a conversation with Ed Brisson, who is the writer of the upcoming Thundercats Lost book, as well as the Silverhawks book, which is going to drop this week. This conversation was supposed to be this last Friday, but Ed came down with a sickness. He came down with something, so we rescheduled it for 3 p.m. Central Time on Friday. After that, at 5 p.m. Central Time, we're having another conversation with Joe Casey, one of my favorite writers in the industry, and I believe we're coming quite pally. So that's always super cool. After that, at 6 p.m. Central Time on Friday, we got the monthly comic book review. That's right, the best comics of the month discussed between me, Nick, Bearded Comic Bro, 9-panel grid, and of course, Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. And then right after that, at 8 p.m. Central Time, over at Blame Fable. That's right, one collection down. The all-new, all-different Blame Fable show. This is the special Comics Curing Cancer episode that we were not able to do during the C3 event back in, I believe, October. There were some unfortunate situations that had happened, but it's back in the swing right now. So join us for some great conversation. We're also going to be taking donations and giving away really cool prizes. So tonight, after Rockin Robbie Live, join me over at Dylan's Horror Show for Horror of Dracula. Tomorrow night, PCP Movie Night, John Carpenter's Starman. 3 p.m. Central on Friday is a conversation with Ed Brisson. After that, at 5 p.m. Central Time, a conversation with Joe Casey. After that, at 6 p.m. Central Time, the best comics of the month, best comics of January with me and an esteemed and elite group of comic book enthusiasts. And then after that, at 8 p.m. Central Time, over at One Collection Down, the all-new, all-different Blame Fable show for the special edition C3 Comics Curing Cancer. That's going to be a busy-ass Friday. But you know what? That's what we do, and that's how we do it. So, let's take a look at who's in the chat. Let's say what's up. See how y'all are doing. It's been a while. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step two, step two, step two, step two. Step two. Oh, wicka. All right. We got the artist formerly known as Jesse Say What up in the house with a station. It's been a minute, but station, hell yeah. Cardstock variant saying T minus 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Now we're T plus 10 minutes and 54 seconds. So there you go. Neighborhood Merc saying station and go birds. Congrats to the Eagles. If anybody wants to keep me updated on the Chiefs and Bills score, I'm hoping for the Bills to win, but we know how the NFL loves the Chiefs right now, so we'll see what happens. But honestly, I have not been watching football for months at this point. I was so over the Cowboys. It's just done. Dundee. All right, Two Gun Pedro's in the house. What's up, my man? How you doing? Pew, pew. Acres of Movie Station. Hello to host, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm glad to see you here, Acres. That's super cool. Eddie Von B is in the house. Hydra Asylum. What's up, my man, Jay? How you doing? Must be Jay, because I have no idea who in the hell Sean is. Acres also says, should they make a Where's Waldo movie adapting the Blue Book original and Find Waldo Now into a first movie? Then he can enter Waldo Land and maybe Ke Huy Quan and Steve Carell and Marshawn Lynch. Okay. Sounds good to me. They can play alternate Waldo. Sure, let's go for it. Why not? How about this? How about a Find Waldo movie? That's just a bunch of just random scenes with a bunch of random people, and in each scene you got to find where Waldo is. That'd be interesting. That would be interesting. We have Brian up in the house. What is up? Yo, Bueller is here with a pop, boom, pop. He can't get it right, but that's okay. We still love Bueller regardless. Pop, pop, boom, my man. How you doing? James is in the house. Evening, everyone. Glad to have Rockin Robbie Live back. Well, thank you so much. Glad to be back. Julian says, the GOAT has returned. Station, everyone. Well, thank you so much. I'm humbled. Jonathan is up in the house. What is up? Hey, yourself, my man. Bueller says, I ain't got no ticket either. We're just going to figure this shit out, Bueller. That's what we're going to do. Either way, we're meeting Todd McFarlane. For you, again, for me, for first time. Robbie doesn't need a ticket. He'll have a tank. That's right, Jay. That's the bit, man. If anybody knows how I can get a hold of a tank, we'll roll up like DX did back in the day to WCW Monday Night Nitro, and we'll roll up to MegaCon. We'll roll up to the convention center in a tank, demanding access and entry. Sherb is in the house. I'm new here. Have just seen the last 2 comic reviews, but loved you shouting out G.I. Joe. Yeah, G.I. Joe! Love that book. Josh Williamson is killing it. So is Tom Riley and Jordy Belair as well. Rawl is here saying, speaking of looking at the comments, here's my big one. I listened to the weekly comic book review, and I am always thoroughly disappointed at the lack of distillery coverage. It's really funny to hear you say that, because there was a couple times I've had distillery books be my pick of the weeks, and then I had comments saying how crappy it was that I was covering distillery because distillery sucks. Now, here's the thing. I like good comics, right? I covered Spectrograph. I covered White Boat. They're still in the midst of that. I covered all of Somna. Pick of the weeks went for, what's that? One for Sorrow, the Jamie McKelvey book. Still waiting on the second issue of that. I wasn't really vibing with Time Waits or Blood Brothers Mother. There are a few that I just wasn't really digging on, but one just made the pick of the week that I loved. It made one of my picks of the month on the monthly comic book review, which was City Beneath Her Feet. So I do believe that I'm covering distillery, but not every distillery comic, just like I cover Marvel comics, but not every Marvel comic. I cover DC comics, but not every DC comic. I can't cover every single comic. Then y'all would never get the video, and that would just be terrible. But here's the question I'll ask you, Mr. Giver or Miss Giver or whoever. I want to know, what distillery books that I'm not covering do you think I should be covering? Because I got a notepad and a limited edition purple G2 Pilot pen right there. So, thank you. Hey, what's up, Circumstances? How you doing, my homie? Good to see you here. He's excited for the Chiefs. Y'all keep me updated. I think we're in a halftime right now, right? Acres of Movie says, movie trade. Trade one Kurt Russell starring role for one Dennis Quaid starring role. Excuse me. And see if you think the movies would be good the way you have chosen. A Kurt Russell starring role and a Dennis Quaid starring role? How about Dennis Quaid in Soldier instead of Kurt Russell? And then how about instead of Dennis Quaid, Kurt Russell is in The Rookie? I think that would make both of those bad movies better. So I'll go with that. My initial instinct was Kurt Russell in Inner Space, but I think Inner Space is just fine the way it is. Two Gun Pedro, thank you so much for throwing out the link to the Dylan's Horror Show. That's right, tonight on DHS at 9:30, the Rockin Robbie finally makes his return to Dylan's Horror Show to talk about the horror of Dracula. Had a great show with Verno, too, today. We were talking about Buffy, Season 5, Episode 1, Buffy versus Dracula. It was super fun. We had a great conversation about it. Thank you so much, Circumstances, for liking the stream. Can everybody follow his good example and like the stream? Right now, we got 33 people watching and only 16 likes, y'all. I know we can do better than that. 9-panel grid is in the house saying those Marvel glasses look sick as fuck. Shit got stuck in my throat. CTA Frank is in the house. What is up? Yeah, who is Sean? Probably some candy ass jabroni. You're welcome, Akers. Forget the tank. Get to the chopper. Yeah. That's what, there's tons of those, like, in Orlando, there's tons of those, like, helicopter tours that you can get. Like, they're all the fuck over the place, right? We should, like, Bueller, this is what we're doing. We're going to get one of those helicopters. We're going to fly right up to MegaCon. We're going to land on MegaCon, and we're just going to, like, make a big stink out of it. Let's go. Year of the heel, everybody. Let's fucking rock and roll. Who would you cast in a new Shadow movie? Do you like those old radio programs, or should they make a Shadow comic book to start the public interest and familiarity with those stories again? I think they should do a Shadow comic. I mean, Dynamite had the rights for the longest time. I don't know if they still have those rights. But a Shadow comic could be cool. For a movie, yeah. And as far as the old radio programs, like, I haven't listened to all of them, but I have listened to some that I have found, like, on YouTube here and there. And Orson Welles, like, a huge Orson Welles fan. So, yeah, I kind of vibe with the Shadow. Who would I cast as the Shadow nowadays, though? I don't know. I wish I was more familiar with modern day actors, aside from just the big ones. Who should play the Shadow? Originally in the 90s Shadow movie, I wouldn't say originally, but in the 90s Shadow movie, it was Alec Baldwin. That's a miscast. So let's cast somebody a little bit better. I don't know. Nicholas Holt's something that popped in my head just now, but I really like Nicholas Holt and I like his work. So there's that. How about Nicolas fucking Cage? That'd be crazy, wouldn't it? What about somebody not named Nick, Robbie? Let's see if we can come up with somebody. Who should play the Shadow in a live-action modern film? Ryan Gosling, maybe? Something like that? I don't know. Those are my picks. What do y'all think? Should there be a Terminator movie that starts in ancient China and a giant abacus that can create Skynet? Maybe. Why not? Rather see a Predator movie that way, personally. Edson, what is up? How you doing? Favorite aspects of your favorite door or car chases in movies? What I like about car chases in movies is I like dynamic, I like the way it's shot to be dynamic. I want it to be kinetic. I want it to feel moving and fast and stuff like that, right? But they can also be different than that, right? Like the French Connection is got a great car chase in it, but it's kind of unconventional compared to other car chases. The movie Ronin has a great car chase. I think there's lots of cool stuff in the Fast and Furious movies, to be honest with you. But yeah, I want it to move, and I want to feel like I'm there. I want it to feel high octane, right? There you go. Nothing says the new Snyder Jock was good. Forgot what it's called. Yeah, it starts like with a W or something, or a T. I have one in Studio B, but I haven't read it yet because, Diamond has been consistently late shipping their books for like months at this point. And I've been getting my Diamond shipments after I do my weekly comic book review. And that's kind of like hindered some stuff, I should say. But I do have that, but I haven't read it yet. Got the super spicy Tula Lute cover too. CTA Frank says, Inner Space. Acre says, Quaid, Soldier, Russell the Rookie, thanks. Writing to remember your answer, thanks. That was good. I like that one. Well, glad I could be of service. Who would I rather be, James Bond or Ethan Hunt? James Bond, 100%, Rawl says, credit where credit is due. I do perk up when you cover them. That said, I've been having a great time with life and really enjoyed the debut issue of Missionary. Had a very Dogma vibe I really liked. I remember reading the first issue of Missionary. Is the second one out yet? I don't know if the second one's out yet. Life was one, like, I don't know. The first one didn't really do much for me. That's the Flip book, right? By Brian Azzarello and Stephanie Phillips. Yeah, I just haven't gotten back on that. What are they on, like issue 3 or something? I should probably give them more love. Distillery should give me more love and send me early PDFs so I can read them ahead of time. So then reading a 48-page fucking comic's not too much of a hassle. That's maybe we should drive the tank up to Distillery Corporation. The best way to do a Hanna-Barbera cinematic live-action universe, reboot Flintstones or do a Jetsons live-action first? Neither. You start it with Wacky Races. Rawl says, and Warm Fusion really grabbed me with its opening issue. I'm with you on that. Blood Brothers Mother is my least favorite of the bunch, but that's only because one of them has to be. Hell yeah. Aside from that, Rawl says, I do really enjoy the show weekly, and you've turned me on to several books I would have otherwise missed. Recently picked up Port of Earth on your rec and absolutely loved it. You must have gone back to some videos to get that fucking recommendation. Port of Earth, I haven't thought about that book in years. That's crazy. That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate it. Wasn't trying to hit you with an all negative comment right out the gate. No worries, buddy. We're all good. Be as negative as you want. Be as positive as you want. It's your life. You live it. Glenn Powell as the Shadow. Eddie, I really fucking like that. That sounds good. Fuzzy says Jason Statham. I don't know. I'm more on board with the Glenn Powell thing. Jason Statham maybe like 10, 20 years ago. Not too bad. Hey, what's up, Kenneth? Hey, what's up, Christina, the bot pain? How are you doing? What's up, Rogue Collecting? Hey, Billy Power Max is here. Zac Efron. Bruh, no lie. That could be fucking dope. Zac Efron. First of all, Zac Efron should be in a superhero movie at some point, right? I mean, it hasn't happened yet, really, has it? But it should happen, and I think The Shadow would be pretty cool. Akers is over there fan casting the live-action Jetsons movie. Jay says, Bill Skarsgård, he's in anything anyway. I think he's taking a little bit of a break. He's definitely taking a break from horror. So yeah, maybe put Bill Skarsgård as the Shadow. By the way, Nosferatu, loved it. That was the last movie I saw in theaters. Had so much fun with it. I really, really, really dug it. The way I would describe Nosferatu 2024, which is a Christmas movie, by the way, which is pretty fucking awesome. But I would say it's visually stunning. It is intensely performed with the acting, and it's got phenomenally macabre and beautiful music. So I really liked it. My favorite performance in the film was Willem Dafoe. I love the cinematography. It maybe runs a tad bit long, but I still would give it like a perfect 5, you digs. Might be my favorite movie of last year that I've seen so far. Jonathan says, I am looking forward to Silverhawks, and I love Thundercats. Yeah, Thundercats and Silverhawks both out this week. Trust me, I've read them. They are awesome. Cannot wait to talk to Ed about Thundercats Lost and Silverhawks on Friday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Akers, you're 100% right. Spacely should be Danny DeVito if they did a Jetsons live action movie nowadays. No lie. You're 100% right. You Won't Feel a Thing is the new Snyder Jock book. Yep, doesn't start with a W nor a T. It starts with a Y. Fuzzy says, You Won't Feel a Thing is as good a first issue as I've read in forever. Yeah, like I said, I got it. I just need to grab it. Maybe if I have time, I'll read it up before the weekly review and I can throw it in there. Akers, with a lot of questions tonight, says, It's 1995. You are your age now. You run a studio. Sly calls you. He wants $100 million to make the train movie Isobar, and he says he can get Belushi and Kim Basinger and Walter Matthau. You have $900 million. Do you make that? Sure, let's do it. Mike says Howl #1 was kind of awesome. I just wasn't vibing with Howl #1. The Ahoy comic? But I'm glad you did. Chill Out Man is in the house. What is up, dude? How you doing? Aker says your comic review and roundup shows are great. Well, thank you so much. Fuzzy says Freddy the Fix was tremendous from Ninth Circle and Image. I'm excited for Death Train this week. Yeah, I got to copy that in the other room, but I haven't read it yet. I haven't gotten a chance to read anything for this week except for Silverhawks and Thundercats. Rawl says, issue 4 of Life just came out and still waiting on issue 2 of Missionary. If you want to bring up getting an early read, come jump into my Discord. Some of the distillery heads are up in there. Unfortunately, I'm not on Discord. I'm 43. I don't even know what a Discord is. So, hey, Fish-Faced Pete is in the house. Hey, Robbie, what's up, playa? When you heading to New York? I'll be in New York in August. We're going up to New York to see Oasis and potentially the New York Yankees and eat some pizza and some hot dogs. That's my plan. Who would you cast as DB Cooper? Danny DeVito. There you go. Rawl says, and yes, I went way back. Been working my way through all the old episodes. Wow. If you start watching around Tom King's Batman run, you're going to see like this whole fucking roller coaster of... Hey, Missing Link is in the house. What's up, Steph? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Boom, boom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Jacob is in the house, says, did you read the original Snot Girl series? Any thoughts on it? I noticed you haven't mentioned the new issues. I read Snot Girl when it first came out. I for 3 or 4 issues, kind of fell out of it. And so when it came back, I wasn't caught up on the book. So yeah, I didn't continue to, I didn't start with arc 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's why I don't cover Snot Girl. I get this question a lot. Why didn't you cover this book? Why didn't you cover this book? There's one of 2 reasons. Number 1, my shop didn't get it yet because Diamond's late as fuck. Number 2, I don't read it. Jay says Silverhawks is pretty dope. I agree. The name changer says, nah, I passed on Nosferatu. I haven't been in the movie theater in a long time. Well, now it's available to rent or purchase digitally, so you can watch it in the comfort of your own home. 9-Panel Grid says, and now Eggers is going to direct a werewolf movie too. Let him make all the classic horror movies. I agree. He's done a witch movie, right? He's done a Madman movie, basically. He's The Northman is not really horror. The Northman is great. Nosferatu, vampire movie. Now he's doing the werewolf movie. Set in 12th century England, I believe. Yeah, I'm all here for that. That's pretty fucking dope. Mike says, books by Distillery I dig are The Missionary and Time Waits. I need to check out other of their books. My favorite so far have been One for Sorrow And in particular, my favorite has been City Beneath Her Feet. I love that book. Akers with all the questions, very specific questions too. What is your favorite 2 Rick Moranis cinema moments? I'm trying to think of the moments in some of these movies. I don't know, but I can't pinpoint the moments right now, but I would say that probably my 2 favorite Rick Moranis movies are Little Shop of Horrors and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. So I'll just say those, and you can pick whatever moment you want. I love the questions, Akers. All right, Chill Out Man's got a question for Two Gun and Easy, but name a movie that you yourself bought more than one time or bought the most. I just bought Mortal Kombat 1 and Players Club again for the 10th time. The movie that I have purchased the most in my life might be The Evil Dead. I had it on VHS. I no longer have it on VHS. I have Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, but I no longer have my Evil Dead on VHS. But I had it on VHS. Then I bought another VHS that was like a clamshell edition that had like an essay from like Sam Raimi or something on the reverse side of the sleeve. And then I bought it on DVD. And then I bought it on DVD again for a special edition. Then I bought it on DVD again for the fucking the Necronomicon edition. And then I bought it again when it came out on Blu-ray. Then I bought it again because it was, so I think Evil Dead, maybe Army of Darkness, same thing, and Evil Dead 2. Like those 3 movies I've bought so many damn times in my life. I think I'm good now though. I got them all on Blu-ray. Though there is that Evil Dead box set, right? It's like Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, and the Ash versus the Evil Dead series, which, crazy to admit, I've never seen the Ash versus the Evil Dead series. Fishface Pete wants a Thundar the Barbarian. Well, we got Herculoids coming, so I don't think Thundar is going to be too far behind. Jacob says, yeah, I thought You Won't Feel a Thing was pretty good. I'll tell you what, I really like that Tula Lute cover, especially the black bag version. Road Collecting says, Nosferatu is so good. The crossroads scene where he's on his way to the castle is so damn good. One of my favorites of 2024 for sure. Hell yeah, that was a great scene. Surprised by the look of Orlok in the film, but Bill Skarsgård to me was unrecognizable, whether it's visually or audibly. Like his voice is, I wasn't expecting the look or the accent, but it worked, and it worked perfectionly well. It worked perfectly well, we should say. Nine Panel Grid says, chill. I'll bring up Big Trouble in Little China for like any conversation, anytime, anywhere. Love that movie. It's time. You're in big trouble in Little China. You know what? I met Nick Castle in October. That was one of the things I brought. I was like, I wanted to thank him for being, I was like, I want to thank you because I know you hear this a lot, but you're always the shape for me. He played Michael Myers in the first Halloween. And then I was like, secondly, I got to thank you for the Big Trouble in Little China music video. And if you've never seen the Big Trouble in Little China music video, you got to. It's Nick Castle, Tommy Lee Wallace, and John Carpenter in a band doing this fucking cheesy ass song in a cheesy ass video, and it is to die for. It's so good. Raul says, really excited to see what Dynamite does with Captain Planet. I don't, just so everybody knows, I kind of put that book together. Just so you know, like, I'm not taking full on credit, but I had a conversation with David Pepose on the channel a few years ago, and I don't think it was on stream. I think it was in the back chat, but he told me, bruh, I've got a really great pitch for Captain Planet. That's the one book I really want to sink my teeth into. I was like, really? So I'm talking to Nick Barucci. I'm like, hey man, do you know? And I told David, I was like, I'll find out who's got the rights. And I was like, hey, Nick, do you know who's got the rights to do like Captain Planet books? He's like, I don't know. I was like, well, because David Pepose has got a really good plan for it. And lo and behold, here we are now. The announcement came, and David Pepose and Dynamite are together combining forces to do a Captain Planet book that I feel somewhat responsible for. So there you go. Of course, without the success of Space Ghost, it probably would have happened. But I'm the one that put it in Nick's ear that David Pepose wanted to do Captain Planet and that Nick should go and find out who has the Captain Planet. That shit's a true story. And if people don't believe me, scour through the hours of the EXP show that I did. You'll fucking find it. You'll fucking find it. You'll find it. I did that. I made that book happen. The power. Let's see here. I fell behind on the chat. Well, thank you, Raul. If I ever figure out what a Discord is, I'll let you know. Mike says, Hal was a mature, realistic take on a couple's relationship in the middle of some sort of alien invasion. Not my bag usually, but it worked in my honest opinion. Well, hell yeah. Fishface Pete says, that's my birthday month. You should have a PCP meetup if possible. I'll take you to good spots for pizza. We'll see. It's going to be a hectic trip for sure. Trying to fit everything in and get back in time for FOC. Akers says, do you look forward to the 2016 or 2026 A24 horror movie called Acid Mountain? A woman traps people's masks and acids and straitjackets them and puts them on cliffs with knives and scores the results. Will that be a hit? I don't know. I actually haven't heard of that movie. I'll check it out. Rawl says, ooh, I actually just read the first Snot Girl trade. What did you think? Nine Panel Grid says, playing catch up on books is tough when new series are constantly starting. I agree, Eric. Ever seen General Putnam in person from My Cousin Vinny? No, I have not. Ben Affleck is the Shadow Billy? That would please Jelani. I'm certain. It's my pipe weed. I wish I could make like a dragon like Gandalf does. Hydra Asylum says the two read pile and the read pile are always unbalanced 9-panel. Yeah, well, as far as new comics go, my read pile is like the pile that I've read versus my to be read is always like I'm good at that for the most part, right? But I do buy things. Oh man, it's like, and this is what my buddy Carl told me. And it's a quote from somebody, and I don't remember who, but he's like, every time we buy a book, we think we're buying the time to read it as well, right? And there's tons of graphic novels, tons of things that I've bought that I just have not had the time to get to, and it's something I want to do. I want to carve that time out in my schedule again to read for pleasure and read for enjoyment. I read a lot. I read a lot of comics. I read a lot of books, like not necessarily novels, but I read a lot of nonfiction, stuff like that, you know, and I listen to a lot of them as well on my morning walks and shit like that. But I always feel like we need to read more, you know? Keep on reading is one of the things one of the first things I decided like I would say as a tag for the for the channel. And you know, now we got our stations, we got our pop booms, we got our PCPX suck it and all that shit. Some of those are stolen from other things, but one thing that I thought that I really am proud of, and I still sign off on all of my weekly comic book reviews with it, that I came up with on my own off the dome one day, was keep on reading. So I agree. We need to keep on reading. Aker says, favorite 3 Brainiac moments in comic books? Jesus Christ. All right. How about no particular order. The Y2K Superman book, when Brainiac shows up, that's fucking badass. He redoes Metropolis, makes it like a city of the future. That's dope. I like that. I love the Brainiac story by Gary Frank and Jeff Johns, where Superman's dad dies. That's fucking awesome. And I don't know. How about when the fucking recently from Josh Williamson, when the Brainiac Queen comes to life and just starts fucking just monstrous and vicious and scary. Almost like the end of Superman 3. It's pretty fucking dope. Pretty dope. So there you go. And Jacob says, yeah, Little Shop slaps. Yeah, Little Shop. Little Shop. Hell, Henry Cavill could pull off the Shadow. It's not a bad pick, Billy. It's actually pretty solid. I am the Keymaster. Are you the Gatekeeper? Thanks for the Ghostbusters reference, Jay. I knew everybody would go immediately to Ghostbusters, but I was trying to think outside of the box. Raul says, One for Sorrow had an amazing first issue. The reveal at the end was magnificent. Yeah, one of the problems that hurts Distillery, though, is, bruh, I don't even remember what the reveal was at the end of that book. I don't. I remember it was, I'm trying to remember what the book was now. It's like set in Victorian age England, if I remember right. But by the time issue 2 comes out, it's so far, like I've read so much since, and so many other books weekly, that's something that's hurting them. It's hurting books. It's hurting comics from Vault in particular right now too. Like long delays between issues will hinder enjoyment, especially in $8 to $10 comics that are oddly sized for most collectors. Distillery decided they would start an uphill battle. But you know, that's the problem with the world. Some motherfuckers always want to ice skate uphill. Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters is the best. That's right, name changes. But I was trying to think outside of the box. So I went with his next 2 most popular movies, like Little Shop and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Strange Brew, somebody called out. Yeah, that's a good one. What do you hope will be the next Dynamite nostalgia book? Brave Star, Mask? Out of those 2, Mask. I love Mask. I would like to see them tackle Visionaries as well. Mike says, best Rick Moranis flick has to be Strange Brew. Steph says, Players Club, how many times? I love that fucking movie. Aker says, I like the scene where he is at the party in Ghostbusters when he discovered he shrunk the kids too. Good answers. Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't know who Charlie Hunnam is. I'm the guy in Sons of Anarchy or something. Yeah, the guy's in Sons of Anarchy. He's in Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim's what I've seen that he's in. Yeah, he might be good. Eddie says, I got a question for you, Robbie. You may have heard this one before. What made you go from horror and comic love to YouTube? Well, Spilio's not here, but if he was, I would tell him to remind him again of what made me jump to YouTube. Hey, what's up, 90s Arcade? I like the name of your channel or your handle there. Yep, Eddie with the inside joke right there. I love that. Jacob says, oof, Clamshell Evil Dead VHS sounds perfectly haunted. Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man. Is what it was. Wish I had that back. Fuzzy says, I bought Pulp Fiction and 7 way too many times. Chill Out Man says, Evil Dead. Yes, nice, Robbie. Name Changes says, Ash vs. Evil Dead series is awesome. Mike says, I have all the Star Trek flicks on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. Obviously count more recent. Obviously doesn't count more recent Trek films. Okay. Akers, you run a studio now. Woody Harrelson and Wesley call you. They want to do a new team-up movie. Please select what they should do, or should it be a series instead? All right, I think that they should do a sequel to Play It to the Bone. Oh, you didn't think I was going to say it. Also, Wesley Snipes not in that movie. It's Antonio Banderas. But Ron Shelton, I believe, right? Same guy, right? Isn't it Ron Shelton who did White Men Can't Jump? The answer is White Men Can't Jump. They should do another White Men Can't Jump. Like, that's what they should do. Didn't they just do one? Oh, it's a remake. They should do like a sequel to the original. Yeah, Ron Shelton. And I believe Ron Shelton did Play It to the Bone. So what about a sequel to Play It to the Bone? And Wesley Snipes is in there. He's got like a little cameo. But like, Play It to the Bone. Let's do a sequel to that one which is a good fucking movie, by the way. It's a boxing movie by the same director as White Men Can't Jump, Ron Shelton. And I believe, is that the same guy who did Bull Durham? Yes, it is. Of course it is. It's the same guy. This guy knows how to do sports movies, y'all. But Play to the Bone's a great movie. Just do a sequel to that and add in a character for Wesley Snipes. But honestly, it should be White Men Can't Jump. They should do another White Men Can't Jump. That's what they should do. Were they in... They weren't in Money Train together, were they? Who was in Money Train? It was them both in Money Train. Maybe a sequel to Money Train. Oh my God, I'm flashing back hard right now to the fucking 90s, y'all. Welcome to Rockin Robbie Live. Rawl says, Tula's art is always on point. Missing Link says, anyone ever read the Future Quest stuff? Yeah, it's really good. The Jeff Parker stuff? Yeah, that's really good. 90s Arcade says, y'all talking about Nosferatu? I saw it so much, saw it twice. I loved it so much, saw it twice at the local theater. You got to keep his mouth off Beast's chest, though. I don't know what's going on there. Fuzzy says, White Men Can't Jump, right? Yeah, White Men Can't Jump. Yeah. Or maybe Money Train. Kelvin says Captain Planet should stay in the 90s. Huh. Dave's got a really good idea for it, so we're going to see what happens. Nine Panel Grid says that music video is next level, talking about Big Trouble in Little China. Can you speak to what direction they're taking to Captain Planet? No, I can't. But it's interesting, and it's really cool. This has been an idea that David's had brewing for a while. All right. We're a little bit behind in the comments, but it's all right. We're going to take a quick break. And as we take this break, we're going to go into this. This is a new bit that we're going to start doing on Rockin Robbie Live. Right? This is something I'm very excited for. So we've talked about maybe doing a thing where like I react or read comments on my videos. And I decided, why don't we highlight like a comment every Rockin Robbie Live from some video. So this first comment that we're going to highlight is from my top 20 comics of 2024 video. So we're going to play that. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back and we'll continue to address the chat. So I hope you enjoy this. This is a real comment and a real response from Faux Robbie. Here you go, y'all.
Brad Frederick says, I just discovered this channel this year, and the weekly comic reviews are one of my most anticipated videos on YouTube. Here's to another year of awesome content. What about the last 10, man? Where the fuck were you, Brad Frederick? Pay attention! We're starting now! Go!
What's up, everybody? Welcome back here to Rockin Robbie Live here on Pop Culture Philosophers, our first show of 2025, the year of PCPX. And if you're not down with PCPX, we got two words for you. Suck it! That's right, everybody. It's the year of the heel. We ain't taking shit from no one. We're coming straight down. We've moved away from the people into the corporation. You just wait and see what's going to unfold this year. And any other YouTuber out there that wants to take a fucking swing, that wants to come my way, you just get better. Watch your fucking candy ass right now. Take those hopes, those ambitions, look at them very proudly in the glint of the sun. Take them, polish them, make them nice and shiny, and take those intentions and those ideas and shove them straight up your candy ass. How about that? All right, what's up, everybody? Follow Pop Culture Philosophers on Facebook and on Instagram. If you're on Facebook, join the PCP Army. That's the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. You can find podcasts and more at popculturephilosophers.com, including links to merch. You can support the channel with Super Chat. Super Chats are always open. We'll trigger a Hellboy video. We actually haven't had a Hellboy song in 2025 yet. Just pointing that out. Also, what was I going to say? Yeah, Super Chats. They're cool. Support us, patreon.com/PCP. But just being here, liking, sharing, subscribing, being a part of the year of PCPX, telling everybody else to suck it, joining into the heel turn of PCP that we're doing this year. And we can elaborate on that if you want to. But anyway, thank you all so much for being here. We got a busy week at PCP. It continues after the show tonight. We're going to be over at Dylan's Horror Show talking about horror of Dracula. Monday night, 8 p.m., PCP movie night. These are all Central Times, 8 p.m. Central. Starman by John Carpenter. Very excited for that. Then we got a quadruple feature on Friday. Ed had to cancel his show on this last Friday, so we rescheduled for this Friday, 3 p.m. Central Time, a conversation with Ed Brisson. Right after that, at 5 p.m. Central Time, a conversation with Joe Casey. Right after that, at 6 p.m. Central Time, the best comics of the month, the monthly comic book review with me, Nick from Comic Culture, Greg from Bearded Comic Bro, Eric from 9-Panel Grid, and Stu from Dr. Doom's Fan Club. And then right after that, over at One Collection Down, the all-new, all-different Blame Fable show for our Comics Curing Cancer special. We now pause for station identification. All right, and we are back, and do you think anybody's going to clip that last bit out where I was like going ham on other comic book YouTubers? Didn't name names. I just put it out there to see, just to fucking see. How'd I get bearded to look so hard? I don't know, man. They do what they do on their fucking thumbnail. Like I have to hassle them sometimes. I'm gonna be fucking honest with you. I had to hassle Stu multiple times to get him to send me the goddamn selfie, because here's the thing. This is what they're used to. They're used to like, oh, I'll send you one picture. You just use that one picture for every thumbnail. Nah. Rockin Robbie don't roll that way. You know what I'm saying? We don't roll that way. It's a different photo. Like if you look at the old days of PCP, yeah, you'll see some Rockin Robbie live thumbnails, same image used over and over and shit. Fuck that, man. We're raw, we're real, we're live. Those are real fucking pictures. Of course, I did use an old photo for that thumbnail. Where is it? Yeah, took a while. So Nick always just sends me like, just like a nice, that's fine. Greg though, let me like shout out Greg. Greg was first, immediate, sent me two of them. One of them, he looked happier. That one, he looked hard. I was like, man, this motherfucker looks like Lex Luthor's henchman. He's about to kick my ass or like, you know what I'm saying? He looks like a fucking henchman. I loved it. Fucking Eric went ham, putting the Marvel shill glasses on. And then Stu finally came through. He sent me a couple, but I love the one where he's holding up the Future Foundation Doom, or God Emperor Doom, actually, is what that seems to be. So yeah, I thought that was dope. So. But it took Stu a long time. I had to like remind that motherfucker like 3 different times. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to talk shit about Stu, but if you need something done, you got to stay on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like I know those kind of people. So everyone hassles you, then you use an old photo. Well, it's like a photo from like 2 months ago, brother, but it works. I think it works, and it's a photo I hadn't used yet. I haven't used this photo yet because, just so y'all know, when I take these photos for like Rockin Robbie Live or for the monthly review or whatever, I take like a series of them. So my girlfriend uses my Canva, my Canva account, and I'm sure she gets on there all the time and just sees like fucking 10 photos of Robbie. Anyway, let's get back to these comments. Let's see if we can find where we left off. It took Stu a while to give me that fucking photo, man. I'm just going to say. Here we go. Name Changer says Captain Planet, talking about the new comic, is going to be great. Dynamite's killing it on these IPs. Absolutely, I agree. Jacob says, out of curiosity, what's your role in your comic shop? What's a day in the life of Rockin Robbie like? What is a day in the life of Rockin Robbie like? I am the store manager of my comic shop, and that role mostly includes maintaining the sub list, doing all of the comic book ordering, managing the staff, making the schedule, hiring, disciplinary action. Like, I'm the store manager. Like, pretty much I make sure that the store keeps running day to day. And I got a great team behind me. But for the most part, I'm in the office most every day, crunching numbers, ordering action figures and toys. I do the toy orders too. I don't do the gaming order because that's not my area of expertise. We have people that do that are experts in that. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You manage the staff, give them tasks to do, they do them. And my staff is fucking great. Like, I mean, to be honest, it's one of the best staffs we've ever had. So it kind of almost runs itself out there on the floor. But yeah, most of my job entails doing orders and maintaining subfiles, drops and ads. Just that kind of shit, you know? And like, when I say doing orders, like, it's not just one order a month, you know? Like, there's Lunar, there's Penguin, there's Diamond, there's Ingram, there's like so many distributors that we go through, and I got to run the reports, and I got to look at everything, and I got to, you know, I mean, that's basically what I do, man. You guys want a day in the life vlog? What's a typical day in the life of Rockin Robbie like? Maybe do one on Monday. Let me explain my Monday. All right, here we go. This is tomorrow. All right. So I'm going to wake up in the morning, and I'm going to go on a walk. And on that walk, I'm going to be listening to an Audible book. Right now, I'm listening to what's his fucking name? What's that dude's name? Like the Navy SEAL dude who's like, Can't Hurt Me is the name of the book. Is it? I want to say Walter Goggins, but I think it's David Goggins. Walter Goggins is the dude from Justified and Fallout, right? But the book is called Can't Hurt Me. That's what I'm listening to right now. Yeah, David Goggins. That's what I'm listening to right now. So I'll listen to that. I'll go on a walk. I'll get back. I'll shower. I'll get ready. Then I'll do like a little bit of a meditation, like a spiritual practice or whatever, right? So I'll do that. And then I'll get my lunch prepped up together. Like, I just cooked all my chicken for the week and shit like that. I do meal prep, right? And then I'll go to work. And when I get to work, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the emails and Facebook and all the shit like that and respond to a bunch of fucking messages. Get that done. Then I'm going to look at there's this folder where anybody who's a new subscriber at the shop, right? So on Mondays, every morning, on Monday morning, I'll look at the new sub shit lists. And so they, you know, people fill out a form. They say what they want. They send it. They give it to us. So I set that up. I set them up the box. I set up their subscriptions in our file. I update the sub files because we have these files that have like a bunch of like everybody that came in the shop yesterday and Saturday night that wanted to add or drop books or whatever. So I'm going to have this long list to go through and just manage and, you know, do all that. While I'm doing that, they're going to be doing the pulls. So on Mondays, they pull off the books that we're going to be having coming out on Wednesday. So then they take the numbers down. They give those numbers to me. I put those numbers into my system and then set up the new books. And I do a bunch of number crunching to find out what ratio did we sell? Like, what percentage did we drop of issue number 2 to 3 of this book and shit like that. I'm trying to figure out where our sales are and understand that data. Then I'm going to use that data to finalize my FOC. So I have already done my Lunar FOC because I do those on Saturday. So I've already done Image and DC, for instance, right? But tomorrow I'll be doing the Penguin and the Diamond FOC. So pretty much everything else. So I'll be doing the FOC orders. And part of that is counting books and seeing like where our sales are, where they're at, our subscriber numbers, what we sell off the shelf. I got all that easily accessible because of our system. So I'll be doing that throughout most of the day. That's going to take a few hours. And then when that's done, I'm going to be looking at what new toys have been, like toys drop every single day. So I got to stay on top of that. I got to stay on top of the special orders. I do that, blah, blah, blah. At the same time, while I'm doing all this, checking in on my staff, all that shit. Around 2 o'clock, I'm going to have my first meal of the day, and it will be my lunch. And it'll be the lunch that I prepped earlier today, which is going to be chicken thighs, asparagus, and onions and jalapenos, and it's all seasoned up real nice, and 2 hard-boiled eggs. And then in the middle of the afternoon, as I'm wrapping up work and finishing up my FOCs and my orders and all that stuff, and making sure everything's tight and ready for the next day, because Tuesday is the day where we get the books and we put them in the sub boxes and get them ready to go on the shelf on Tuesday night, so that when we open on Wednesday morning, the new comics are available. So I'm going to be wrapping all that up. I'll probably eat a banana, maybe an orange, and then I'll come home. And I might have to stop at the store or something, or run an errand right before. But then I'll get home and I'll like have a couple of little moments to rest. But then I'll be doing my show over at the EXP, which is at 5 o'clock my time. We do that for 2 hours. After that, I have an hour break. Usually in that hour break, I am prepping for PCP movie night, just kind of going over my thoughts, re-listening to the score, stuff like that. Like I'll put the music score for the movie on, and I'll like listen to it, kind of think about some thoughts. I don't really take a lot of notes for PCP movie nights. Sometimes I do, but a lot of the times I don't. So I just kind of like get into the zone of doing that movie review. Then I do that movie review. After that movie review, we'll have a little bit of back chatter, and then I'll eat dinner. Tomorrow night's dinner is probably going to be some stuffed mushrooms and some cottage cheese, because I do something quick on Mondays because it's a very long day. The rest of the week, though, it'll probably be like steak, eggs, and like asparagus or broccoli for dinner, and then chicken, hard-boiled eggs, and asparagus or broccoli for lunch. And then that's going to be my Monday. And then after that, I'm going to probably eat a little bit of a gummy, a sliver of a gummy, and then I'm going to fall asleep. So that's your typical Monday for Rockin Robbie. I could film that one day. Or I need somebody to film it for me, because I don't want to do that. And somebody needs to put it together for me, because I don't want to do that either. Don Cheadle's Captain Planet for the win. Absolutely. Chill Out Man says, if you haven't seen the Big Trouble in Little China music video, just don't speak to me again. Fuzzy says, influencer status achieved. Yes. Thank you. Acres with all the questions. Do you want a Primal Fear TV series adaptation of the movie? Should Edward Norton play the gear role? I'd be okay with that. That'd be fine. Sativa Marifa. I am quite a fan of sativa. I like both and I like hybrids, but sativa for the most part. Including this. This is Skywalker. Raw says, the first Snot Girl trade was like a train wreck I couldn't look away from. It's well written and done. I just absolutely loathe the main character, but I find myself needing to know what happens. All right. Steph says, these questions are wild. Should Primal Fear be made a TV show with Ed Norton playing the Richard Gere role? Oh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea, Acres. Are you a movie producer? You should be. You are put in the room. You can only watch one movie ever and just watch and watch over and over and eat, sleep, etc. All in this room. You have to choose a bad movie that you dislike. What movie do you choose? Fuck. If I had to be locked up into a room to watch one movie for the rest of time, and it has to be a movie I dislike. Well, last year I would have picked Top Gun, because it turns out I do in fact like Top Gun. So maybe I should think about a movie that I typically hate, but might like on a rewatch. I'll go, speaking of Richard Gere, how about Chicago? I fucking hate that movie. But maybe I'd like it if I had to watch it over and over again. Or maybe it would just make me want to kill myself, and then I'd just get all that shit over with. Chicago. Ooh, I like that. I'm definitely using that quote tomorrow. I wonder what quote that was, Fuzzy. What are your thoughts on the Superman trailer? What's up, Silhouette? I haven't seen, like, I guess they released something today, like a new TV spot or something. I haven't seen that, but I love the Superman trailer. I think it looks great. I'm really, really pumped for the movie. I think James Gunn's going to do a great job. I'm very, very excited to see the new Superman, especially Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I really, really dug that trailer. 90s Arcade says, favorite Hickman story. I just finished up his House of X, Powers of 10 stuff. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Currently on Secret Warriors. My favorite Jonathan Hickman book is East of West. It's very simply East of West. East of West to me is such an amazing fucking comic book from start to finish. Nick Dragata's artwork, Frank Martin's colors, Jonathan Hickman's writing, the world building, the info pages, all that shit. It's all there, and that's the book where Hickman becomes Hickman to me. Stuff that came out before that, Pax Romana is amazing. Nightly News is amazing. I am a fan of Decorum as well, but and Manhattan Projects, which I wish wish we get some more Manhattan Projects. I keep talking to Nick Patera every time I talk to him, and I'm like, Manhattan Projects? He's like, nah, bro, man. Ask Wheeler John. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. All right. That's good. But no, for real, like East of West, that is one of the greatest comics of all time. East of West. If you've never read it, fucking read it. It's great. Steph says Cavill as a live action Captain Planet would work. Yeah, that would be cool. Speaking about Distillery, Rawl says, I love the magazine size format, especially when they're actually making good use of the extra page real estate, which I feel like they do. I agree. I've mentioned that on some things. I thought Somna did a great job with that. No, Akers. I wouldn't want Robert Downey Jr. for a Billy Joel biopic. I don't know if I want to watch a Billy Joel biopic, to be honest with you. How would you do that? We start the fire sequence. Oh my God. Akers, you might get the MVP tonight. 9-Panel Grid says Pacific Rim doesn't get enough love. Really fun movie. I agree. Steph right there with me. Yeah, Pax Romana. Pax Romana is amazing. Such a great book. And it's written and illustrated by Jonathan Hickman. So is Nightly News. We've covered Pax Romana and Nightly News on Comics Revisited, which was a show we used to do. Silhouette says, am I tripping and thinking the Rom V New Gods run, if given the full runway, will be the best DC book of the last 20 years? I think it's a little bit early to tell right now, but it has potential. Hey, GT is here. You weren't first, but you still are here. It's nice to see you, buddy. 9-Panel says, not tripping, Silhouette. New Gods is next level. '90s Arcade says, District 9 is so good. Yeah, I like District 9. I've only seen it like one time, though. I have it on Blu-ray. I love how thought out Akers' questions are. Oliver Stone calls you for advice. He wants to make Any Given Sunday something new. Should he reboot or remake or make a direct sequel or make a streaming series? Pacino coaching the Sharks again? Any Given Sunday is a really solid movie. Al Pacino, LL Cool J, Jamie Foxx. It's a good movie. It's an underappreciated movie. It's an underrated movie and not mentioned enough when we talk about the greatest football movies out there. That being said, I don't think a remake, a reboot, or a sequel would work, but a remade television show, I think for Any Given Sunday would work. So there you go. Steph says Neil Beauchamp should direct. Oh, the guy who did District 9, right? Is he doing that Alien? What did he was going to do an Alien thing? Is he doing Alien Earth, or is that? Am I misremembering? Because like he was going to do an Alien movie and it kind of like got pushed to the side or something. Hey, Brandon Conkle in the house. What is up, my man? Hey, what is up? Oh man, I feel so bad. I don't know how I'm supposed to say your name, but when I was, so I used to preach. I used to be a preacher back when I was a teenager. I was like trying to be a preacher. That was what I was going to do. And there's a lot of names in the Bible, for instance, that you don't know what the fuck, how to say it. And I remember being taught this because I was taking early stage seminary courses. And I was like, I remember like, what do you do? Like these names, they're like, how do you know how to pronounce them correctly? He just goes, pronounce it like you know that that's the way it's pronounced, because the church doesn't know either. If you don't know how to pronounce the most of that being said, I'm not saying that nobody knows how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Maria Aodeli? I don't know. The writer of Storm here in the chat saying, I think David Pepose said he's had the idea since 2014 or so. Yeah, it's been brewing in there for a minute. I think he gets excited to tell anybody he can. So I'm excited to see that happen. By the way, Storm is such a good book. And I'm really surprised. I give Marvel a lot of shit here on the channel, but when I like a book, I get behind it. And Storm is a book I really, really like right now. So you're doing a great job. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much for popping in. Chill Out Man says, yes, Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes are my favorite duo. White Men Can't Jump, Money Train, and Wildcats. What's Wildcats? You say Wildcats, I think High School Musical. (1986) football film, Goldie Hawn. Holy shit. I've never seen this movie. I've never seen that movie. I'm going to have to watch that. How did them two motherfuckers wind up in the same, like what? I want to get high with them too. I just want to like hotbox a goddamn station wagon with Woody Harrelson and fucking Wesley Snipes. Hell yeah. Faux Robbie. Brandon says, just saw Wolfman in the theater and it was actually pretty great. I liked it better than The Presence, which also just released. Haven't seen The Presence or The Wolfman. I wanted to go see The Wolfman last week. Joe messaged me. I didn't message Joe back. Joe Corallo messaged me and said he thought it was all right. Right? But I don't know. I was nervous about it. I was nervous about this Wolfman movie, so I'm glad to hear that you liked it. Steph asked, how was the look of the werewolf? Brandon says it was understated, very much on the human side, and I actually really loved that. It shied away from some of the body horror gore I was expecting, but the emotional impact of the story made up for it. All right, I definitely have to check that out. Akers, would you like to see one where Woody and Wesley are truck drivers and they get a lottery ticket together and that wins and they retire and build themselves castles? I don't see the conflict in that story. Akers, if you can find me like a good hook into a conflict, then yes. I guess at this point we'll watch anything with those two together. Yeah, I don't know who that main actor is either. I guess is he from that show Link, from the Wolfman? But I thought it was the dude from fucking Office Space when I first saw the first trailer. I was like, whoa, that's an interesting choice. Apparently a lot of practical effects. That's cool. Brandon says, The Presence has a cool camera gimmick, but it was all built up with a really quick, simple resolution at the end. Definitely a letdown. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, yeah, The Presence. That's the new Soderbergh movie. Yeah, you're right. With Cate Blanchett. That movie looked fucking awesome. That wasn't that great? That movie looked awesome. That's already out? Shit. Oh, fucking Companion's about to come out. Fuck. I'm falling behind, man. I'm falling behind. I'm sorry, man. 2 weeks ago was mine and my girlfriend's 2-year anniversary. That same week was her birthday. Then a bunch of other shit happened. Like, it's been hectic. I haven't seen a movie since Nosferatu. Yeah, Soderbergh with the Jurassic Park screenwriter, David Koepp, right? Or Koepp, something like that. Hey, what's up, Cliff? How you doing, sexy? Hey, what's up, B-dubs? Yeah, I am fierce, motherfucker. You better watch out. It's the year of the heel, man. Better watch your candy ass. I'm increasing my tree intake right now. Robbie the Rockin' Bills. If you smell what Rockin' Robbie is smoking. I haven't watched, let's talk about my wrestling journey. So if y'all remember, like, I think one of the last times we did Rockin' Robbie Live, I was talking how hype I was because I watched the Saturday night main event on Peacock. Fucking loved it. Got really pumped for Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Watched the first Monday Night Raw. Was like, why are there commercials? This is a commercial-free Netflix. But there are commercials embedded in the fucking program. And then I was like, whatever. I thought it was fine. You know, I enjoyed it. It took me a couple nights to get through it. And then I started trying to watch the second episode. They're on 3 now, right? So I was watching the second episode, and I'm an hour into the fucking show. More commercials, only one match. And I kind of said, fuck it, to be honest with you. So I've been keeping up. There's a new Saturday night main event. I think I might try to watch that. But what I've been doing is continuing my journey through the WrestleManias. And I'm on WrestleMania 16 right now. I'm about to get into territory where I was not watching WrestleMania. So that's going to be exciting to get to. I just finished WrestleMania 2000, like last night, I believe. I just kind of put it on. I watched maybe 40 minutes, maybe like an hour, maybe 20. And then just move on, and I just kind of keep going through them. And going through the Attitude Era of WrestleMania has been super fucking fun, man. I'll be honest with you. If you were the Abe Vigoda character in Good Burger, would you have a blast working there? I've never seen the Good Burger movie. I know who Abe Vigoda is, but I've never seen the movie, so I don't understand the bit. Yeah, we dropped the drugs and picked up some hugs. Yeah, 9 Panel Grit says support RobbieBillz at PayPal too and CashApp because he needs some of that cheddar too. What's going on in the game right now, y'all? Clipping it now, get us some more views. If people look hard enough, Steph says, they'll find something wrong with anything. I agree. You're a wise man, sir. Where are we at? I'm so far behind on the comments. Thank you all for being here and just chatting. Here we go. Acres, would you rather go get a milkshake with Kathy Bates or Jamie Lee Curtis? Kathy Bates. She seems down to earth and grounded. Jamie Lee seems a little bit pretentious and kind of prima donna. So I would go have a milkshake with Kathy Bates. The bigger question is, what kind of milkshake would I get? Yeah, it depends. What time of year, what the options are. The go-to is a chocolate milkshake. However, if it's summer and there's a peach milkshake out there to be had, I'll go for that. If there's a banana pudding milkshake to be had, I'll go for that. If there's a peanut butter and jelly milkshake to be had, I will go for that. Peanut butter banana, peanut butter chocolate banana, strawberry, a strawberry milkshake. Y'all, sometimes you just got to realize you just need to have a strawberry milkshake. What it would never be is a vanilla milkshake. Who wants regular ass fucking vanilla milkshake ice cream shit? Yeah, Eddie says, I think Stu looks like he could be Kane's brother. You're kind of right, brother. You are kind of right. Though I thought Kane's brother was The Undertaker. What's the life and times of working with Rockin Robbie Live? Somebody's getting cussed the fuck out. It does happen. Chill Out Man says, I like heel Robbie the best. Thanks. What's the best 5 vehicles of any kind in cinema history? Cinema, so not counting TV shows. So no Knight Rider, no A-Team van. All right, here we go. The 89 Batmobile, duh. 89 Batmobile, boom, there you go. There's one. That's easy. Any random James Bond car. I really like the fucker in the Living Daylights that goes under the fucking water, right? I like that one. So, you know, a Bond car. I don't think that one was an Aston Martin, but I'm not 100% a car person. So there's that. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Gone in 60 Seconds, the remake with Nicolas Cage and Angelina Jolie and Vinnie Jones and shit. I like the Mustang in that one, so I'll go with that one. How about that one for 3? Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters, you know, so there's that. And to round out the top 5, how about Christine from John Carpenter's Christine by way of Stephen King? What are your 4 favorite NBA centers of all time? Mine are Hakeem, Shaq, Kareem, Wilt. Thanks. Is that good? That's good, Akers. You nailed it. I have nothing to add to that. 3 Lakers too. I have nothing to add to that. That's it's pretty good. Guess what's his name from the fucking Spurs back in the day? Maybe, but why can't I remember his fucking name? Anyway, but yeah, that's a solid list. That's a solid list. I mean, thanks for the answer. Brandon says, this day in the life actually sounds great. This further reinforces my desire to open a comic shop in retirement. Well, hell yeah. That's awesome. Akers, are you an AI program? Yeah, I heard about the Oregon Trail. We already got one bot here that calls itself Christina. Bills up 22-21 in the 4th quarter. Ah, shit. The best burger shop in my town. There's a place called Bad Daddy's Burger Bar that I think is the best. There's also a place owned by a buddy of mine called Supper Heroes that I really like. Derek, what is up? Are they doing anything with Milestone Media? They seem to have gone silent. Are you talking about like DC Milestone? Is that what we're talking about? Yeah, DC Milestone. They're doing the Shadow Cabinet book right now. But DC, just like before, they don't put effort behind it, but there's a lot of potential there that could be developed in comics, in animation, and on the big screen. Brian, you want to know my favorite comic book ever? Are we talking about single issues? Are we talking about series? Are we talking about runs? What are we talking about, Brian? You know my answer to that. My favorite comic book of all time is The Invisibles by Grant Morrison and many artists. Or are you saying the East of West? Because now I realize we're in the Jonathan Hickman part of the conversation. Are you saying East of West is your favorite comic ever? For me, though, The Invisibles. But East of West is one of the best comics of the last 25 years for certain. Speaking of Grant Morrison and best comics of all time, Grant Morrison's got 2 pages in the new issue of Ice Cream Man, which drops out this week. So that's pretty fucking cool. Road Collecting says, love Decorum. Steph says, is Decorum a simple story? Yeah, it's a simple story, yet it's told in a complex way. East of West all day. Have my number 1 on my shelf behind me, says Road Collecting. What was the book Hickman did with Nick Patera? They did Manhattan Projects together, and I believe they did Red Wing together. I believe Red Wing was done with Nick Patera. Let me double check. Yep. Red Wing. That one as well. The Dying and the Dead was cool. I liked that. There's Secret as well. And then there's Black Monday Murders, which is still yet to finish. Would you rather hang out with Johnny Five or Mac from Mac and Me? Johnny Five, 100%, bro. Come on. Short Circuit. Noah Hawley is doing Alien Earth. Thank you for that. Neil was developing Alien stuff, but they decided to go with Ridley Scott's Prometheus. Thank you so much, Steph. And what's up, Carl? We're not ready quite for show and tell, but let me go ahead. While Carl is here, that's my buddy Carl Koweski. That's my buddy Carl. Carl is a writer. He's a poet. He's an awesome fucking dude. He's one of my friends. He's one of my homies. And dude, Scarefest, they just announced Jeffrey Combs and Linnea Quigley, brah. Scarefest is going to be fucking awesome this year. But he's got a new book of short stories out called Thrift Store Jackets. And y'all need to go find this book. Like, can somebody, can one of my blue wrenches here get on Amazon, find this book, Thrift Store Jackets by Carl Koweski, and put a link in the chat, please. Because this is a collection of short stories from my buddy Carl. And he gave me this copy, signed it for me. It says, you ready for this? I'm going to go ahead. Carl, I'm going to share this. Rockin Robbie. Since 2017, your extensive knowledge and enthusiasm for all things groovy has been an inspiration. Your friendship has enriched my life. Aww. So anyway, there's two stories in here that have a character named Maniacal Mike, which is funny. But the character is apparently based on me. And it's pretty funny. I've read a few of the bits from it. But it's pretty fucking funny. Like there's a moment where he's like, the smell of the weed was like pouring across, and I could tell that my neighbor, the YouTuber, podcaster, whatever. So there's a character based on me in two of these short stories in Thrift Store Jackets. Y'all need to go check that out. And Carl, thank you so much for the copy. I cannot wait to read it and talk about it more here on the channel. Rogue Collecting says, I'm still hoping they finish Black Monday Murders someday, but doesn't sound like anytime soon from a recent post from the artist. Yeah, that makes sense. Aker says should they have made RoboCop versus Terminator 96 when the Genesis game was popular? Favorite weapon in that game? Mine was the flamethrower. Who would you have chosen for RoboCop versus Terminator director? In 1996, John Woo. And yeah, I'll go with the flamethrower too. Derek says greatest football TV series was Playmakers on ESPN. I remember that. I didn't watch too much of it. There was a show they did about poker. I think it was called Tilt. I used to watch that. I was super into like Texas Hold'em back then, like everybody was. Well, thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Keep making good comics. I'll keep reading them. Good to see you. I'm going to have to look up an interview with you so I know how to say your name. I want to say Ayo Deli, but I could be wrong. Wildcats is a High School Musical. Rogue Collecting says, Presence seems like an interesting concept, but I haven't heard great things about it or the Wolfman. 9-Panel Grid says, the Wildcats cartoon theme song. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, did they mean SWAT cats? Aker says, if paid, would you watch various Robert Altman movies and review or evaluate them for potential repurposing? Thanks. Yes, 100% Akers. I love Robert Altman. Nashville is a great movie. MASH is a great movie. Gosford Park is a great movie. And other things I'm forgetting about. Didn't he do Players Club? Or am I thinking of The Player? I'm thinking of The Player. Players Club and The Player, two very different movies. Yeah, and it's The Player, the Tim Robbins one. Yeah, Players Club. Fuck, this whole time, when y'all were talking about Players Club, I thought you were talking about The Player. You're talking about the one with Omar Epps and shit, right? Jamie Foxx? Is he in that? Players Club. Oh, man, I haven't seen that in forever. Yep, Jamie Foxx, Ice Cube. No, not Omar Epps. Bernie Mac. Terrence Howard is in that fucking movie? Charlie Murphy. Michael Clark. Oh, yeah. John Amos. Okay. Maybe we need to add that to the PCP movie night lineup. Hey, sorry it took me so long to get to this, but yeah, we got a super chat from Chill Out Man. It's time for the first Hellboy song of the year! Hey, yeah. Let me tell you about this little man I know. His name is Hellboy. He was sent to the earth some long time ago to save it or destroy. Brought to this earth by Rasputin, son of a demon and a nana who had a sex with a demon, but was raised by Professor Broom. And now he fights evil and monsters. Shit! Now he fights with the man who's a fish named Abe. And now he fights with a fire starter named Liz. And an ectoplasmic mess named Johan. BBRD. Yeah! And that felt pretty fucking good, didn't it? I feel like that felt pretty good. I do. 90s Arcade says, have you watched The Substance yet? I think it's Demi Moore's best performance, in my opinion. I have not watched it yet. I know it's got a lot of Academy love, so that's exciting. I haven't seen hardly any of those fucking Academy Award nominated movies, so I got some catching up to do too. Steph says she deserves all the praise she's getting. Brandon says, oh, The Substance was phenomenal. Such an over-the-top movie. My jaw dropped so many times. Y'all are really selling me on the fucking Substance right now. Oh, just dropped. It's the Bills game to lose. Thank you so much, Steph, for throwing out the link to thrift store jackets. When is thrift store coming out? It's out now. It's out now. There's a character based in this. There's a character in this collection of short stories based on me. It's pretty fucking dope, y'all. Hey, Austin, American Demons in the house. What is up, my man? I think that book was at Green Brothers. I bet it was, and you should have picked it up. Did you know that there's a character in this book based on me? Pete says, I just picked up the first 14 issues of East of West and haven't read it yet. Just backing up in the chat a little bit. What we're talking about. Okay. Milkshake says, or Acres says, milkshake with Kathy Bates would be awesome. I'd choose strawberry peanut butter blend, I think. Yay, that would be fun. A peach one, too, if she wants. That she is great. I'm proud of her always. A peanut butter strawberry shake's kind of like a peanut butter and jelly shake because I always use strawberry preserves. Though last time I had a PBJ, I used apricot. So it's pretty dope if you've never used apricot preserves in your PBJ. Steph wants the car from the Wraith. Hell yeah. Who's better, Sting or The Undertaker? Undertaker, in my opinion. Though much love and respect for Sting, Undertaker to me is fucking awesome. Like, he's just one of the best. I love The Undertaker. I've been listening to some of his podcasts lately too. Naysayer says, everyone knows it's Sting. It was a pointless question. American Demon says, if I ask a question at this point, I think it will be answered 20 minutes from now. Yeah, probably. We won't be on air 20 minutes from now, probably, though. Akers is recapping my best cinema vehicles. Robbie, the host, says, are you fucking AI, man? 89 Batmobile, Living Daylights underwater car, Gone in 60 Seconds Mustang, Ecto 1, and Christine. Great answers. Typing to remember your response. Well, thank you. Yeah, Hakeem is fucking awesome. Hakeem Olajuwon. I always love saying his name. Taki is in the house. What is up? He says, yeah, Milestone is done. Maybe another static book. Yeah, it sucks, man. Oh, Brian, you said that about East West. That's your favorite comic of all time? Is East of West of all time? Really? Really? Of all time? Okay. Top 25 for me for sure. Choco's 26 in the house, as we alluded to earlier. Acres, this is a good question. I feel like Acres of Movies is like some kind of AI program. It's like trying to mine me for ideas for Hollywood. Gene Hackman calls you. He says he's doing and feeling fine now. He wants to act in more projects. He asks you if he should star in the new True Detective season and for 2 other ideas. I would say yes, star in the new True Detective. And then I would say... I would say, how about French Connection Part 3 and come back as Lex Luthor in a Superman movie? Hydra Asylum says, everyone needs a Rockin Robbie in their life. Well, thank you. Luckily, we have each other most Sunday nights here. Acres, who the fuck is Stacy? Are you Stacy? Are you an AI program? I feel like, is it, y'all, I really think that we got Acres of Movies as an AI program. I don't fucking know. Maybe I am. I'm actually like Max fucking Headroom. What's up, Starscream? How you doing? I've never seen Body Double or Blowout. I need to, though. Blood Splatter Chatter, what is up, my man? Oh, all y'all singing along with the Hellboy song. Yeah, Darren, it is just is. It is just is. Naysayer says, I love the little ska jam. That was random. Austin says, oh, now he's speedrunning chat. Hi, yes, I'll pick up the book and the substance is awesome. Good night, Austin. Robbie, did you do the random rankings thing? No, let's do that right now. Before we wrap up here, Verno gave me an idea that I think he stole from another YouTuber. Rockin Robbie's random rankings, right? I like the four-lettered alliteration. Rockin Robbie's random ratings. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with movies. This is what's gonna happen. Name a movie. Just name a movie. Name a movie that you love or a movie that you hate. Just name a movie. And the first 10 movies that I see, that I have seen, I will then rank. Start naming movies as I speed run this fucking chat. What's up, Boat? Oh, I haven't seen Pacific Heights in forever. Boat, I have no thoughts on Marvel Rivals. That's a game, right? So yeah, I'm sorry. This not me. We just got a random yes from Acres of Movies. I wonder if that's an answer to the, are you an AI? All right, the movies are coming in. First Blood. Bram Stoker's Dracula. BS's Dracula. 13 Ghosts. Back to the Future. Hatchet. So far I've seen these. In the Mouth of Madness. Ooh. Fisher King. Three more. Double Take. Donnie Darko. And Barbie. The Chiefs won? Chill out, man. I know you said no on the Barbie. It was just a joke, but we're adding it in. All right. We're done. Dude, what happened with Megalopolis? I never watched it. I want to, but I heard it was kind of... Memento's awesome. That's a good one. Chiefs fucking won? Are you serious? Fucking horse shit, man. Chiefs Eagles. Is that what we got last year? Yeah, that's what we got last year. Get the fuck out of here. Ah, son of a bitch. This is like wrestling. It's like we're like Stone Cold and The Rock. You know, they have like one match, then they have another match, and then they have the rubber match, you know, shit like that. Jesus Christ. Fucking shit, man. All right, let me look at this list. I haven't seen Double Take in a while. Huh. Oh. This one is tricky. I'm doing it. All right, here we go. Ranking these films. At number 10, I'll go with Double Take. At number 9, 13 Ghosts. At number 8, Barbie. At number 7, Bram Stoker's Dracula. At number 6, The Fisher King. At number 5, Hatchet. At number 4, In the Mouth of Madness. Number 3, First Blood. Number 2, Back to the Future. And number 1, Donnie Darko. So to recap, number 10, Double Take. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I don't remember liking it. Number 9, 13 Ghosts. It's all right. I just recently rewatched it during Scarefest when we were in Lexington for Scarefest, and it's just all right. Number 8, Barbie. I like Barbie, but it's not perfect, but it's fun and it's good. And there's a lot of good movies on this list. So that's why it's 8. At number 7, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I like it, but I don't necessarily like the love story elements, but I do love the music and the costumes and just the epic nature of it and a lot of the performances, though Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder should never be trying to do British accents again. At number 6, The Fisher King. It's a great Terry Gilliam movie. It's one of my favorite Robin Williams films. I think that movie is really fucking good. Number 5, Hatchet. Just good old school horror. Like, it feels like old school 80s slasher, but really going for it. And I love Adam Green, so fuck yeah. Number 4, In the Mouth of Madness. That's an underappreciated John Carpenter movie. Very Lovecraftian, very, very fucking cool. At number 3, First Blood. First Blood's fucking great. It's the best Rambo film. And I love the Rambo franchise, but it's the best one. It's a really good movie, and I think it's undervalued, honestly, compared to other things like Terminator or I think with like things like Terminator, Rocky, and those action movie staples, Predator, shit like that. I think that First Blood gets overlooked at how good it actually is. Number 2, Back to the Future. It's a damn near perfect movie. We talked recently about it in November. We did 1, 2, and 3 on PCP Movie Night. But I'll go with Donnie Darko as number 1 because that movie resonates with me personally, emotionally. I love the dreamlike quality of it. I love that it doesn't spell everything out for you. I love that it challenges the audience. So I thought that was pretty fucking dope. So yeah, I'll go. That's how I'm going to rank those movies. So boom. That was successful, I think. Yeah, I think that was successful. Couldn't break the top 5. You need to watch The Fisher King again. I love Hatchet so much. Hatchet's so fun, man. It was the Chiefs and 49ers last year. Was it 2 years ago? Thank you, Taki. Thank you. 2 years ago. Thank you. Thank you. Well, Stone Cold wasn't at WrestleMania 2000. So there you go. Kendrick at halftime, though. Am I going to be like, who's this new guy? This is good. What's up, Matthew? How you doing? What's up, Omega Slice? Fucking Casey again, probably. What's up, Damien? Sleepy Reader 666 in the house. How you doing? Good to see you here. Dylan from Dylan's Horror Show. I'll be on Dylan's Horror Show very shortly tonight for Horror of Dracula. It's going to be fun. All right, and it's almost 9 o'clock, so that's basically it for tonight. Well, thank you so much, Darren X, for my great takes. Thank you so much, Blood Splatter, for giving me the... It was your idea, and we did it, man. 10 movies. We'll do something new next week. All right, let's wrap up with some show and tell. Once again, Thrift Store Jackets is in stores right now. You can get it on Amazon. This is from my buddy Carl. It's a collection of short stories. There's a character in here, in 2 of these short stories, that is based on me. So definitely check that out. I don't buy a lot of, I haven't been buying a lot of comics lately, but these ones came across and I had to get them for nostalgia's sake. How about Mortal Kombat, Katana and Melina, a one-shot comic with some early Greg Horn artwork, y'all. Fucking 90s Mortal Kombat comics. Speaking of, how about Goro, Prince of Pain? I got issue number 1. I got issue number 2. And I got issue number 3. So, how about that? Some Mortal Kombat comics. All right. Recently on Blood Splatter Chatter, we've been talking about Masters of Horror. I'm a huge Masters of Horror fan, and one of the things I've been talking about is how much I regret selling my sets, right? Like I had the Mausoleum set, I had the Skull set. Well, guess what I did? For Christmas, I treated myself, and I bought them again. So this is Masters of Horror Season 1. Every episode on DVD from amazing filmmakers. You open up the top. Yep. That's probably why it was cheaper, as that thing fell off. I just got to get this glued on there. Anyway, all the movies are in there. It's a great series. We've already covered the first 2 episodes, and we're about to do it again in February. That fucking thing keeps falling. So I just got to glue that back on. But yes, Masters of Horror, Season 1, in the Mausoleum. Super cool set. And then Season 2, the limited edition, comes in a skull. You open up the skull, all the movies are right there. On DVD, of course, but these were staples in my collection, and I got rid of them a long time ago. Now I'm very happy to have them back in my life. So yeah, the Mausoleum for Season 1. And the skull for Season 2. How fucking cool. So happy that I have those back in my life. And then my buddy Kevin Stokes, who I'm doing my comic book with. Thank you, DHS. So my buddy Kevin, who I'm doing my comic book with, the Mortex, he's a professional comic book artist. For Christmas, he did an image for me and then made prints of it. But man, he knows me. And he did this one for me, so check this out. Blade versus the Count from Sesame Street. How fucking dope is that? So he did this image, and I was like, bruh, that's like right up my alley. And then so he gave me a print of it. This is not the original. I'm pretty sure it's not. That'd be cool if Kevin gave me the original, but I doubt he did. Because if it was the original, it wouldn't be colored, probably. Anyway, how fucking cool is that? That's my buddy Kevin. Blade versus the Count. So, thank you, Kevin. Love you. And that's the show. All right, we may or may not be here next week. It depends on what happens with my paranormal investigation stuff. It's my buddy Scott's birthday. He's the one that puts that on, and we're supposed to do a Bigfoot hunt, but now that's up in the air, so I don't know what's going on. If I'm free next Sunday, we're good. The Sunday after that is Super Bowl Sunday, plus I'll be arriving back home from MegaCon. So 2 weeks, I'll be in MegaCon. So if you're there, say what's up. If you know how to get a badge, let me and Kevin and Bueller know. That would be great. Aside from that, we'll be back for sure on the 16th. So hell yeah. Love y'all. Station. This has been fun. And don't forget, join me in like 30 minutes over at Dylan's Horror Show for Horror of Dracula. Tomorrow night, PCP Movie Night, 8 p.m. Central Time for John Carpenter's Starman. A conversation with Ed Brisson, 3 p.m. Central Time on Friday. 5 p.m. Central Time on Friday, Joe Casey. Right after that at 6 p.m. Central, the Best Comics of the Month stream. And then after that at 8 p.m. Central over at One Collection Down for the all-new, all-different Blame Fable Show, Comics Curing Cancer C3 Special Edition. All right, y'all, we love you. We appreciate everything. All the participation, all the comments. Acres, whether you're real or not, you're welcome here anytime. You kept the chat going. You kept me going. Super fucking fun. We'll catch you soon. And remember, station, pop, pop, boom. And no matter what you do in this life, make sure that you do it and you do it right. And when I say do it right, what I mean by doing it right is doing it with authenticity, integrity, and honesty. But always live your life with gratitude. 100%. And that's the bottom line. Because Rockin Robbie Billups says so. If you smell what PCPX is cooking.
Brad Frederick says, I just discovered this channel this year, and the weekly comic reviews are one of my most anticipated videos on YouTube. Here's to another year of awesome content. What about the last 10, man? Where the fuck were you, Brad Frederick?
Hey everybody, Rockin Robbie here, and I want to talk to you about Big Mix Vintage Video. Right now in Huntsville, Alabama, you can go and rent movies from an actual video store. Now, this is run by my good homie of over 20 years, David. So go let him know that PCP sent you. This dude's got over 18,000 movies. That's right. He's got DVDs. He's got Blu-rays. He's got 4Ks. Hell, he's got VHS and Laserdisc. He's got an exceptional collection of your favorite filmmakers, your favorite film franchises, and he really specializes in hard-to-find, unheard of horror movies. This dude is where it's at. He's my go-to source for those hard to get movies that I don't want to spend a freaking bundle on Amazon or eBay to get. It's just a nice old school kind of vibe when you go in. One of the best video stores I've ever been at. If you're in Huntsville, Alabama, go to 309 Dallas Street and check out Big Mix Vintage Video. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook, and you can email them at bigmixvintage@gmail.com.